Plank number 3, local rule priority. Proper local rule should outrank wider area rule. Well, you know what? That's a subject that I've been kind of thinking about doing a video on, but hadn't really ever gotten around to it. I keep running into the uncomfortable fact, that sometimes the local governments are a lot worse than the national ones. And sometimes the national ones are worse than the international ones. Look at what Manchester Police Department has been doing. The way they handle chalking, compared to the more laid-back way that the feds handle chalking in Concord. Now, I realize it doesn't look all that laid-back, but the fact is that these federal folk never tried to confiscate any video. They also let the chalking occur once, actually I think twice, 2 different days in a row. Not 2 different days in a row, but on 2 different occasions they let the chalking occur without arresting anybody. But then eventually, I mean, after on like the 3rd or 4th time that they did it, finally they made some arrests. Well, I say finally. I wish they hadn't made any arrests at all, of course, but the fact is Washington's operatives handled themselves in a much more restrained manner than the local Manchester PD. Supposedly, as individuals, we have more influence over Manchester PD than we do over the feds. Considering how much smaller the Manchester government is compared to the federal government, they should be infinitely better. In reality, it doesn't work out that way. The real advantage to having local control, smaller territories ruled by governments, is that you just get more of them to pick from. And imagine how much nicer a place Manchester would be to live if you completely removed that layer of bureaucracy that is at the federal level. It would actually have an impact on the way MPD relates to the people, because Manchester Police would not be getting all that federal funding. So, although I can nitpick about the local control idea and point out its imperfections and its shortcomings, the fact is, it would be better if less control were centered in the center. And the fact is, you as an individual probably do have a lot more influence over your town government than you ever would over the federal government and probably the state government too. Anyhow, if you want to rant just like I did about pretty much anything, you might want to head over to winwin.lafora.com. And if you go there, you'll find out where to go to do your rant.